Hi, everyone. A few months ago, as many of you know, much earlier this year, I just had a very simple idea of starting a free 15-minute meditation at 7 p.m. UK time on a Sunday evening. And that was a good time to choose, I think, because for most of the world it works well. That's 7 p.m. UK time is 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. It's 8 p.m. for most of Europe. It works well for South Africa. It doesn't work so well for New Zealand and Australia, but if for them, because it's very early hours, if they just set a clear intention that they're joining the group energy, or equally, if you can't make 7 p.m., then you can just set a clear intention that you are joining the group energy. So there are no Zoom links, no tech, no reminders, no recordings, no nothing. You just join energetically in a way that I'm about to describe to you. And since that time, over the last sort of 9 months or so that this has been running, I have no actual idea because it's not being tracked in any way, which is part of the reason we're just making it so easy and free, is thousands, I believe thousands, possibly tens of thousands of people are joining us because this is a really wonderful, uplifting thing to do. The purpose of it is to accelerate the arrival of new Earth for humanity. Now, new Earth is already here, as many of us know, is a frequency. It's simply a frequency that we can step into by raising our own frequency. But if we can come together as a group and help to raise our frequency, and therefore we will be raising the frequency of the collective. So more people will be able to access this new Earth frequency, which is something which is very, very beautiful, because this is where we're all headed. And it just takes a small number of us. There's so much evidence, as I've talked about many, many times, there's so much evidence out there of how a small number of us can do this. So I'm not leading it, we are all leading it. That's very important in true Aquarian style. Um, but also, I wanted to say, and this is why I'm doing this new video, that there's so many extreme situations in the world right now. The extreme weather, terrible floods, fires, people are losing their homes. We're well aware of the terrible war zones, which terrible war situations that are so protracted. And I've been feeling very much myself recently, what can we do about those? Because it's very hard to go to those areas. It's very dangerous, very unsafe to try and deliver food aid, and people have been killed in trying to do that, as we know. If we send money, are we sure that the money we're sending is actually getting through to the people who need it? So I've just been thinking recently, these very simple 15-minute meditations on a Sunday evening, UK time, 7 p.m. UK time, we could actually do more frequently. In fact, what I'm going to suggest is that let us try and assemble to do them at 7 o'clock every evening, UK time, but adjust to your time zone. And I'm putting two different time zone links below for time zone websites where you can go and make sure of joining at the correct time, if that's what you'd like to do. Now, I know we're all busy, we've got very busy lives, so it may not be possible for all of you to join every single night at 7 p.m. for 15 minutes. But if you'd like to do this to really feel that you are making a difference in the world, to bring more peace to the world, as Lynn McTaggart has done demonstrably in her videos, and you can go to the evidence tab on her website and see that, and read her book The Intention Experiment in terms of how that was done. We really are doing something, even if you can just make one or two extra nights in the week. So that's what I'm really proposing here, that we just take out of our busy lives 15 minutes per day, per evening, to really focus on raising the frequency of the collective to help people in desperate and extreme situations. But the main purpose of it is to accelerate the arrival of new Earth as a frequency for more people. And in doing that, that will bring peace, of course. So the idea here is that we imagine that we are a family of frequency. If you follow my work, we're all on a similar frequency. So imagine as you come together that we are all holding hands across the earth. We are connecting with our hearts across the earth. I always feel, just drop into your heart. And the second we start, I can feel this incredibly strong, it's palpable, kind of heart vortex between us. Very powerful, kind of swirling energy as we connect. I mean, it's thrilling that we're doing this for free across the world. And if you can't think of anything better, use the mantra, we're welcoming in an expanded consciousness of love. We're welcoming in an expanded consciousness of love, because that is exactly what we're doing with this. So set a clear intention that this is for your highest good, the highest good of all, and the highest good of the earth. That's really important that you set those at the beginning. And before I kind of describe any more of this or suggest things to you that you might like to do, there seems to be a lot of telepathy across the group, across the world, because afterwards people will occasionally write to me with their experiences, which are just extraordinary and thrilling, actually. Very often people imagine that they are bounced out beyond the earth to see this very strong web of light that is all surrounding the earth, and it's getting stronger and brighter every week. For other people, they see hundreds of very tall, benevolent galactic beings coming in to support us in what we're doing. For other people, they see themselves setting off across mountains and streams, and they see more people, more animals, turning into an army of love, a tsunami of love, leading this charge to make the world a more loving, peaceful place. So it's really beautiful. And it brings me to tears sometimes, the reports that people give. And in doing this through the 15 minutes, just try and feel any emotions of love, joy, peace, compassion, gratitude, those kinds of emotions. And I'd suggest that if you'd like to, you can put people and animals in these extreme situations in the center of the circle, let's say. But it's really important that you don't focus on the negative of what they're experiencing, rather that we bring them peace, love, compassion, and joy, that we focus on where we want to get to, the emotions we want them to feel, rather than any negative emotions. And so you could imagine that that there's a soft blue light, a very calming soft blue light comes into this meditation, and that encompasses all of those people in very extreme and distressed circumstances, that everything just calms down. Everything gradually comes back into harmony and balance and peace. Everything is soothed with this soft, pale blue light. That's quite a good idea. And so also, I think it's wonderful to see all living beings, humans, animals, all living beings, just feeling feeling joyful, feeling happy, feeling respected, feeling cared for. There's abundant food for all, and there's this feeling just of a connection between all living beings. And so I'm just going to share with you where I tend to go in this meditation, and it's just a suggestion. You can choose, because we are all going into our own meditations here with the guidelines that I've suggested. But for me, I always, as soon as I connect with everyone with hands and hearts, I feel this very strong heart energy. I set the clear intentions for the highest good of all and the highest good of the earth. And I go to my favorite ancient woodland, which is so beautiful. I'm so blessed to live in a place where I can, in all weathers, go to this beautiful ancient woodland, and I scarcely see a soul there. It's really special. And as I'm walking through the wood in my meditation, I just imagine that all the trees, all the birds, all the plants, all the animals, the wild ponies, the wild donkeys, just everything is humming with life force. It's like someone has turned the lights up. All my senses are heightened. The colors are brighter. I feel I'm just connecting and can communicate with all of those loving beings. It's just humming with infinite possibilities as I walk through that woodland. It's just exquisite. And then I drop down a narrow track to a very clear stream, and there's a sort of gurgling noise of the water going over the rocks and down the waterfall at one end. And this is a stream that's very well known for dragonflies. Has lots of, there's the ponies, the donkeys, lots of life around it. And as I say, I'm normally alone there. But in the summer, it is just abundant with dragonflies with their iridescent wings. Sometimes I'm lucky enough to see the water nymphs hatching in those miraculous moments of metamorphosis into dragonflies. And I can sit there for hours with an expanded sense of consciousness, of just connecting to all that is. There's a sense of merging with nature, with all of that life. It's just beautiful, and it's very magical, and it's very easy to have that sense of the expanded consciousness of love. And if I keep going through the woodland, there's a little hideaway part of the woodland I discovered some time ago. And this little hideaway, it opens into a kind of oasis of a beautiful large pond that's full of water lilies in the summer. And that also is just brim full of life. There's a sense of the elementals there, the fairies, just all the elemental beings. And the deer come and drink there. It has abundant bird life. I often see tawny owls, I see buzzards, I see butterflies. And it's just so rich and abundant. You feel that there is life on every level around this big lily pond. And I almost imagine that there's a portal there. There's a magical portal that perhaps leads into inner earth, and all of the possibilities and all of the beings that could have existed there for all eternity. That if I sat there for long enough, I could connect to them too, with all of their knowledge and their wisdom. It's just very beautiful. It's very serene. It's very peaceful. So for me, those are the journeys I go on frequently in my meditation. Those are the journeys I go on because for me, that expands my consciousness very easily. It expands my sense of magical possibility. It expands my sense of connectedness to all living beings, a sense of connectedness to source, divine consciousness, oneness. And I come back in a heightened state. I know my frequency is higher. And maybe as you do these meditations, just check in with your frequency at the beginning of the 15 minutes. Check in with your frequency at the end of those short 15 minutes and see if there's a difference. See if you can really feel that you have raised your consciousness. Now, of course, you can stay much longer than 15 minutes. If you wish to, of course you can. But if you can do these meditations more often, I will be doing them as often as I can. 7 p.m. UK time, our big meditation, our big coming together is still going to stay a Sunday evening. But if you're able to make some other time in the week when you can join me, and even if they're just a few hundred of us across the world we can really feel that we are reaching out to our brothers and sisters in extreme and desperate situations, because it could be us. There, by the grace of God, it could be us. And this will really help a sense of coming together with all humanity, coming together in compassion. What can we do? We can all do this for free. Every single one of us can do this for free. So, really suggesting this to you, offering it to you, and I will be there in the ethers as often as I can to be with you. God bless. Thank you so much for listening. And we really are going to change, and we are changing the quantum wave structure with these very simple meditations. I'm so grateful for being here on this journey with you. God bless. Be back soon. Thank you.